What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Potted Plant Entertainment. I'm your host, Chris, and in case you don't know, I review movies and I rank them on a scale of 0 to 100 in increments of 5. I'm your host, Chris. I have never said that before, but I like the sound of it. Also, peep the shirt. Yes, peep the shirt. Anyway, so today we're here to talk about Top Gun Maverick. I will be reviewing the first one. It's going to come later, but I will be reviewing Top Gun 1, I promise. I saw this movie yesterday. It officially opened in theaters today. And man, oh man, did I love Top Gun Maverick. So let's talk about why. So Top Gun Maverick stars Tom Cruise, Jennifer Connelly, Miles Teller, Val Kilmer, and John Hamm. And it was directed by Joseph Kosinski. And this movie tells a story where Maverick is sent back to Top Gun to teach former Top Gun graduates to do this super secret mission where he's going to narrow down a team and eliminate the rest to train them to go do this mission. And all the while, Goose's son is there, who resents him for reasons that are like obvious at the beginning, but then more reasons as you find out like as the movie goes on. And he has to try and sort of win his love. I went into this, I didn't really know what to think because it's been so long. They started filming this in 2018, and I think they wrapped up filming in 2018 or 2019. So the footage in this movie is old. Like, it's been a long time since they filmed this movie. I was in high school, I think, when they started filming this. I'm done with college now, so it's been a while, all right? So we waited a long time. And we got a trailer, and we got another trailer. And at some point, it was just like, bro, I'm done with trailers. I just want to watch the movie. And now it's finally here. And boy, was this worth the wait. I loved every minute of Top Gun Maverick. I just thought this was one of my best theater going experiences of all time. I enjoyed this so much. Also, check this out. So I didn't get these when I went to the movie, but my friend did. So I got this to go on my my car keys with my Exorcist lanyard, and I got poster. Nice poster. So poster is gonna go up over here underneath Guardians of the Galaxy. But now, quickly, my thoughts on the first Top Gun. I've always really liked it. The first two times I saw it, I thought it was okay. But then when it was the third time that I saw it, that it really started to click with me. And I was like, okay, now I get why people like this so much. So I think I probably like Top Gun a little bit more than maybe you do. But Top Gun Maverick, you're going to love this one. I promise you. If you thought this one was just too 80s, too weird, the romance didn't work, this one will work for you. I loved every minute of Top Gun Maverick, so let's talk about why. So for one thing, the suspense and the tension in this movie is insanely high. I mean, this movie is edge of your seat, action packed. There's a lot of fighter jet stuff in this movie, like a lot. Like they spend a lot of this movie in the fighter jets. And it's just so much more fun because this movie doesn't really have as much fighter jet stuff. This movie has a lot of fighter jet stuff. Like, a lot of fighter jet stuff. Like, maybe over half the movie takes place in the fighter jets. It's a lot. And it's breathtaking. It looks so good. The cinematography and the editing of these dogfight scenes and these practice scenes are absolutely insanely good. This movie is going to get nominated for an Oscar for Best Cinematography, and it's going to get nominated for Best Film Editing. It's just very, very obvious. The editing here is pristine. Pristine. I loved every minute of these awesome aviation seats, and they're all real. It's all practical. They put them in these jets in the back seats and made it look like they were flying them. And to be up there in a plane, going all around like this, and having to act is extremely impressive because the performances in this movie are fantastic. Everybody is really good in this, and Tom Cruise, as always, is so good in this movie. The music is really, really good. I actually like this rendition of the Top Gun theme, maybe even a little bit more than I like the original rendition. Like I said this movie builds on the first one a lot. The sound editing is really, really good. I saw this movie in standard theater, but I'm going to go back and see it in IMAX so I can really experience that aviation just sounds coming around me. Let's see. There's also some good humor in it. There was a few times during this movie that I laughed. And as the suspension and the tension in this movie was so high that there was at some point during this movie where a guy in my theater went, oh. I'm telling you, it's going to have you gripping your seat. This movie really helps justify the plot. It doesn't really feel like a lame excuse to put Maverick back in the cockpit and have him do stuff. It does actually justify its plot. The plot is clear to the audience. It makes sense. It's simple, but it's effective. It uses nostalgia in meaningful ways that don't just feel like a cheap ploy. The nostalgia in this movie feels earned, which is very rare. It's not like Doctor Sleep, where like the ending of that movie is just nothing but the shiny nostalgia and it's just thrown at your face and it's just absolutely terrible. No, this does nostalgia correctly. The directing in this movie is really good. Joseph Kosinski's really only made like one movie that was like overwhelmingly positively received. So I was nervous going into this because he doesn't really have a great, like he made Tron Legacy, which wasn't that great. So I was a little nervous, but sorry, I'm still getting over my cold, but he directs the crap out of this. He was the perfect choice for director of this movie. This movie is very, very well directed. Let's see. It's also very emotionally impactful. There's a scene where Mav and Ice are talking to each other. Now, as you probably already know, Val Kilmer did survive throat cancer, and so he has a hard time talking. And they incorporated that into his character in the film. And when he and Mav are talking, because, you know, they didn't used to like each other, but now they're like, you see like how they have like this really strong bond with each other now, and it's really, really nice to see. That was one of my favorite scenes in the movie when he goes to visit Ice. And the pacing is really, really good. This is a really well-paced movie. This movie doesn't drag for a second. This is so much fun to watch. I don't really have any cons for it other than the romance in the movie doesn't really add much to it. It doesn't take anything away, but it doesn't add much to it. I do want to talk about spoilers, so I'm going to give my rating first, and then we're going to get into our spoiler section. And so, with all that being said, I'm going to give Top Gun Maverick a 100. This surpassed my expectations. It's one of the best movies of the year, possibly my favorite. I have to think about that because the Batman I really, really loved. I've already watched it 3 times. I can't wait to go out and see this one again too, though. Don't walk. Run to the movie theater and see Top Gun Maverick if you haven't already. Don't use your Regal points that you've saved up on your card. Buy a ticket and go see Top Gun Maverick. This movie deserves your support. All right, now let's go ahead and get into the spoiler section. So, firstly, putting Maverick into enemy territory and sending him on like this mini adventure was such a good idea. To see Pete Mitchell not just flying, but on an adventure, being hunted in enemy territory? Who thought of that? That's amazing, and I loved every minute of it. I also like how they made Rooster they didn't just hate Maverick because of his father's death, but they also added in that he pulled his papers from the academy at the request of his mother on his deathbed because she didn't want him to fly. And that, to me, it just made more sense than him just resenting him for his father's death. So I appreciated that when they added that into the film. And also, okay, so this isn't like a huge thing, but like the final jet, right? The final jet that almost gets Maverick and Rooster, it just comes out of nowhere. Nobody picked it up on radar. It comes from the other direction of where they were. So it just makes no sense, but it's a nitpick, guys. It's not that big of a deal. I love Top Gun Maverick. And before I leave, I do want to say one more thing. as of today, this marks my 2-year anniversary on YouTube. 2 years of making reviews, and I just want to say thank you. It wasn't until recently that I really started to develop a bit of an audience here, but I worked really hard to get this little bit of an audience and this little bit of a community that I'm now starting to build up. 2 years of hard work is now finally starting to pay off, and I can only say that because of you. You are watching, you are commenting, you are here. You're not just my girlfriend getting me views, and you're not just my dad getting me views. You are a person who genuinely enjoys my content, and the hard work is finally paying off, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much. I've enjoyed these past 2 years, and they have been so much fun. I started YouTube because I was bored in quarantine, and I didn't have anybody to talk to about movies. I saw other people doing it on YouTube. I said, why not? And I'm so glad that 2 years later, I am sitting here doing this. And you know what's funny? The footage in this movie is older than I've been doing YouTube. So it is crazy that we're finally not getting this movie. But with all that being said, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. So thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to Podplay Entertainment for more. Hit the like button. Leave me reviews, suggestions, and comments down below. Follow me on Instagram at Podplay Entertainment for channel updates. And follow me on TikTok for bonus content. And much love.